The last question that I wanted to ask you today relates to technology, because the central proposition of objectivism is reason. It's A equals A, and reason necessitates freedom. But it seems as though there are certain scenarios now with technology where we could face a situation with people coming together through these different platforms that we're heading toward collectivism, and it seems as though reason and technology is heading in that direction. You know, with the internet, with artificial intelligence, with the prospect of people eventually, uploading their brains into computers, why wouldn't it be the case where in the future we might have some kind of ultra-rational computer, for example, that runs all of society, and freedom ultimately gets extinguished in the name of reason?
Because I think that's a misapplication of the concept of reason. I have no idea what an ultra-rational computer is and how it would know what was good for me and what my values are, and how you can detach individual human consciousness from reason or from values. All of that is nonsense. So, we're heading towards a very interesting period in technology, and who knows what the outcome is going to be. But one thing, nature doesn't change, reality doesn't change, and you cannot have consciousness without life, and you cannot have life without values, and the only thing that can value is the individual. Collectives don't value. Now, it's true, you can imagine a situation, if you think back to Star Trek, of the Borg, right? The Borg is this living being that is, by its very structure and its very nature, necessarily, in a sense, collectivist, because the unit of measurement is the totality. Okay, maybe we'll encounter a being one day in the future of that, or maybe, but to view human beings as becoming that, I think is just, it makes no sense to me. And there's nothing in the technology of the world today that suggests that that's where we're heading. Now, it's true, AI is going to get more and more sophisticated. I doubt that we will ever be able to upload our brains onto a computer, but what I do think will happen is that you will be able to embed a computer into our brains, and that is that you will have a symbiotic relationship between computers and human beings. Human beings, in a sense, will provide the consciousness and the life, and computers will add to our ability to compute and to communicate and to interact. And that's all interesting and fascinating, and maybe we'll have to rethink certain philosophical ideas as a consequence. But that won't change the fact that the living species that is interacting with the computer is an individual, and that individual will have particular values, and that individual will use the computer, hopefully, in service of the pursuit of those values. And that since other individuals will have computer chips in their brains as well, or bionic arms, or whatever it happens to be. So I view it much more as ultimately you'll see some kind of symbiosis between man and computer, rather than man as irrelevant and only computers are relevant, or as man becoming a Borg. I see no scenario where the Borg becomes a reality, because ultimately we feel as individuals, we have passion as individuals, and we have values as individuals. You can't connect those. You can connect maybe computation, what the computer does. You cannot connect life. You cannot connect values. That you can only do, for now, in science fiction, in such creations as the book.